I know I say things like this a lot, but the other day I literally had the best dessert of my life, and my taste buds are forever changed. So I've said this before, but I'll say it again. My favorite dessert of all time is a little something called molten chocolate lava cake. For those who aren't familiar with it, imagine a velvety bed of dense chocolatey cake filled with a molten, hot center of liquid chocolate. A core, if you will. If it's prepared correctly, and that molten core is rich, deep, dark, chocolatey chocolate, and the surrounding cake is equally satisfying in its density and its flavor, then you've got a winner of a dessert on your hands. It's something that has to be eaten to be believed, but I've tried many all across the land, and there are a few that really stand out to me. I've had them at various restaurants and dessert locations around the globe, really. Well, pretty much just in the US. The mainland US, to be specific. The contiguous United States, I suppose. And there are a few, like I said, that have been really incredible. But there are many more that have been subpar, mediocre, or, at worst, terrible, and soul-crushingly disappointing. In an earlier vlog several months ago, I mentioned a cake that really ticked me off. Just a complete lie of a dessert. It was a sham wrapped in chocolate. That's what it was. Not even good chocolate either. A lie dipped in rich, sweet goodness. And it wasn't even that good. It was neither dense in terms of its cake, nor did it have a chocolatey molten core. At that point, it's really embarrassing for them, for the chef, you know? He's lying to himself. He's saying, hey, I'm making this dessert, but then he's not making it. He's making something else. He's making a disappointing sponge cake that's not gonna satisfy anybody. I mean, who are we kidding here? As a professional chef, he should have more self-respect and respect for his customers than that. But he didn't. The restaurant was false, and I will probably never go there again. Their food was great. Other than the dessert, the food was incredible, so I'll probably go there again. But I will not order dessert at that establishment ever in my life. This recent experience this week, however, was completely different. Just a total flip around. This time, I went to a place that my mom was wonderful enough to locate and somehow hear about from someone. It is a restaurant called Hot Cakes. Basically a bakery that specializes in molten chocolate lava cake. I mean, what could be better? They also serve hot chocolate, drinking chocolate, which is a fancy, thicker version of hot chocolate that is different enough to have garnered its own title. Several kinds of cookies and baked delights, milkshakes, specialty ice cream sauces and toppings, and of course, several other flavors of molten cakes. This place has it all. They did have a grilled cheese that I tried. Extremely delectable. Highly recommended. Anyway, after I enjoyed my delicious grilled cheese, I dove right into the dessert menu, specifically the molten chocolate cake section. I chose the original flavor they had, which is known as Dark Decadence. Couldn't have come up with a better name myself. It was made with organic dark chocolate, which of course is my primary concern when I'm ordering a chocolatey dessert, except, it's not. But good for them. Anyway, well done. I respect it. And finally, after a suspenseful wait, my cake arrived. The presentation was gorgeous. It was essentially a wooden plank, probably cedar, high quality, adorned with a white ceramic cup that had the molten chocolate lava cake spilling out of it. But not overflowing to the point of being annoyingly messy, just puffing up just a little bit over the level of the cup. Tastefully done. Then, moving over to the west of the dish, I had a little scoop of vanilla ice cream, delicious vanilla ice cream. No idea what brand or where it came from, but really made things work for me. And on top of this ice cream were little tiny toffee bits sprinkled about. And then, to make things even more interesting, between the cake cup and the ice cream scoop with the toffee bits, decorating it, was a trail, a river, if you will, or perhaps a stream, of caramel sauce, homemade, in-house preparation, just connecting the ice cream to the cake. It was so beautiful, I didn't even feel like I could eat it. I mean, it felt like it should be in a museum somewhere. I'm not one of those people who takes pictures of their meals before they eat them, usually. But this was a case where I just couldn't resist. I had to take a photo, so I did. I'm sure in the future I'll return to that location and purchase many, many more desserts from them because, wow, they really blew my mind. But I felt that the first time really needed to be documented, just for historical records. And so after photographing my cake, I dove in. I didn't want to overpower my senses, so I started with just a small bite of the cake on its own, by itself. I will never forget that bite. It changed me. Something within me snapped wide open and blossomed, like a phoenix rising. within my esophagus. That sounds bad. I wouldn't want that, actually. Somewhere within me, a phoenix was rising. I'll just put it that way. And it was a phoenix of flavor. A flavor phoenix. I mean, the chocolate was just incredible. The cake was so dense, and yet it melted in your mouth, just melted away and nestled itself deep within your taste buds. And then the molten chocolate, which was not necessarily confined to the core of the cake, but sort of spread throughout the cake. And so the liquidy, chocolatey, hot goodness was interlaced within each bite. And that was just the first bite that I got that from. And wow, the rest was history. I tried the ice cream, blew my mind. The ice cream with the toffee, even better. The ice cream with the toffee bits sprinkled on top and the caramel sauce all mixed into one was so good that I don't know how to untangle my hands. And then the ice cream with the molten chocolate lava cake put together and eaten at the same time. Oh my gosh. Ow! Breathtaking. It took my breath away. I was breathless. There was no breath in my lungs. I think you get it now. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that tears almost came to my eyes, not quite, and thus eating this cake joined the list of things that provoke that reaction within me. That list includes videos of soldiers coming home to their families, emotional moments in Pixar movies, etc., etc. I could go on. And as I continued to delicately move through this dessert eating experience, I felt that all of the unhappy, depressing memories of subpar molten chocolate lava cakes from years past just melted away. This cake was somehow making up for all of the terrible cakes I'd eaten in the past. And suddenly everything just seemed right with the world. Everything was pleasant, calm, warm, inviting. Love was in the air. I think nearby somebody proposed and a couple actually got engaged while I was eating my cake. I didn't actually see that happen, but it just felt like that could have happened in that moment. There was a vibe. I don't know, I can't describe it. Also, there was a girl in the hotcakes cakery that looked almost exactly like Iris West from the Flash TV series. And most people probably don't know what I'm talking about. If you don't watch The Flash, my advice to you is watch The Flash. But if you do, you know who I'm talking about. She's a beauty and a sweetheart. And I think the presence of a fake Iris from The Flash in this restaurant really added to the atmosphere. Just made it feel very welcoming, very happy, exciting, fun. I feel I've just embarrassingly revealed a celebrity crush of mine. But you know, who cares? It's worth it. It's part of the story. And before I left Hotcakes, I noticed that they were selling frozen take-home versions of their cakes, which, of course, I couldn't resist. So obviously, I purchased 2 of them. Now I know what you're thinking. Parker, why didn't you buy at least 17,001 of them? Well, the answer is, I don't have that kind of money, so none of your business. Just kidding. But in all seriousness, that would have been expensive, so couldn't have really done it. But I'm sure I'll be going back and getting more soon. So if you are ever in the Seattle area, particularly Ballard, Hotcakes is the place you want to go. You will never be the same. I gotta stop saying never be the same. I think I've said that way too many times. I gotta find a new way to put that into words. You will be permanently altered. That sounds weird. That sounds like you're getting plastic surgery. Your spirit will grow umpteen thousand times. So I guess the lesson here is patience and curiosity will take you far and bring you the greatest of rewards. Or as the old saying goes, good things come to those who wait. But not like wait and sit around and do nothing and wait for something to happen. I mean, you should probably put in a little bit of effort to really get that reward. But your call, but I think a little effort is important to remember in life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have 2 frozen hotcakes, oxymoron, waiting in the freezer for me, and they most definitely have my name on them. So, I have a date with a hot dessert. Wish that sounded more normal. I'll catch you later.